guys, welcome to Clockwork Noodles for another Clockwork Rewind. This time we're jumping back 11 years. We're going back to 2012, the full season for anime. The first episode of K decided to drop. You may also find this anime under K Project because K is a very hard anime to dig around for because K is anything. K is potassium. K is great. We're going to break down K. It's more because it's very thematic for the current airing anime. This season we've got two Gohan's animations coming out. We've got The Girl I Like Forgot Her Glasses and The Masterful Cat is Depressed. I like one drastically more than the other for many different reasons, and it would seem that you guys also feel the same because The Girl I Like Who Forgot Her Glasses is sitting miserably at a 7, probably about to dip into the 6s, whilst The Masterful Cat, which I think is the better of the two animes anyway, is sitting at a 7.5, which sadly is higher than the anime we're about to look at. We're going to look at the anime today. This one I still think does better than the Glasses anime. Why Gohan sometimes excels and sometimes doesn't quite excel. I will say for the animation this season, please check out The Masterful Cat is Depressed. It's actually really heartwarming. I like the show. Slice of lifey, it's cute, it's nice, looks very good, and you can really relate to the anime. I'm very happy as well that the cat doesn't theoretically talk to her. He does do monologuing, but he doesn't talk. There's something about having cats in animes just talking. I just don't like it. But the anime I think really works. Maybe because they blew their budget on the first anime, which is doing bad. They can't afford to do as crazy as stunts. And the cat one actually doesn't need to be as crazy. I think, to be fair, they just overshot. I feel like if you want to go watch The Girl with the Glasses one, it feels like a tech demonstration. If you don't know who Gohans are, they're known for being crazy camera angles. A few people are complaining that the current one, the Glasses one, is making them nauseous. It did make me feel a little bit queasy. You've got all of these really crazy angles and we're just going to school. Chill out, relax. We don't have to be going 360, no chill, all the way down the corridor. It's just a little bit too much. This is why I think the cat one works better. Hello and welcome to Clockwork Noodles. We break down anime every single week. This season, because it was a little bit quiet, we're doing the rewinds where I get to tell you guys about animes that I enjoy. We see if they hold up. Please make sure you give the channel a subscribe if you like what we're doing. It really helps. Let's quickly do what we normally do. We'll look at my score and Mao's score. Now this is the lowest anime so far out of the 3 that we're breaking down. It's sitting at a 7.4. If the cat stays around where it is, it's about average for a Gohan's production. Young Becca, don't hurt me guys, don't hurt me. I gave it a 9, but this was one of the very early animes I ever watched. It was one of the first shows that I'd seen using this style of animation. Perhaps a reason why young me gave it a 9. It's been a long time since I watched K. Even I was like, I don't remember any of this. It's been about 800, 900 animes later where I will admit I think I was a little bit too nice on the scoring. I think it sits probably roughly around 7.8 to an 8. I think I dropped the score just to be a bit more fair. I gave it an 8. My average score, apparently according to Mal nowadays, is 7.2. So that is my average. Anything that does better than a 7.2 is apparently good in my books. I feel like life just made me a harsher person. A lot of Husbandos. I don't think I found a show with so many Husbandos in it. So if you are into women, there is a cat naked girl in this show a lot. The ED is basically her nude. That's not the reason why we're here. I'm here to break it down and why K still stands out as one of the stronger Gohan's shows. You can see a lot of their blueprints in this show. The intro is pretty unassuming. We get a bit of nice music that continues into the first chunk. You do get those hints that this is that studio who does the crazy stuff, right? Zooming with the camera through the city as things start to appear. Something I didn't realize with this anime is, oh my god, that filter. Did we keep the filter on for the whole season? The later seasons for K are better. I don't remember the heavy filter, guys. My problem isn't any of the animation for this show. This show actually does quite nicely on the animation scale because it's a bit scaled back from what Gohans are now doing. Filter for me, if they get rid of the filter, this show immediately gets an extra point. I didn't realize how heavy-handed it was, but you do get a lot of very desaturated colors used in the first intro. We are introduced to the first of our teams. This is Team Red. The Red King is Daddy Kenjiro Suda. You guys know I love Kenjiro Suda. I didn't even realize it was him at the time as well. This is before my Kenjiro Suda crush began. I didn't know who he was, but I admired this character. Makoto is one of my favorite characters. Relationship between him and Anna. Early introduced in this actual scene, you can see her very gradually holding on to him. By this point, you've seen how ominous he feels. He's got his chains rustling, he's smoking smoking. He's a bad lad. He's an awesome bad lad. His reaction to Anna holding his clothing, he's actually a guy with a heart. He's a big softie right inside. Holding onto him very gently, and he just accepts that this young girl is holding onto his shirt. Not bothered. Absolute legend. I do love him. He's a fantastic character. Now, Anna, the first hint that Gohan's is behind this show is where she sticks the marble up to the sky, and Gohan's goes, "Here, have a fisheye lens effect," which we now will no doubtably hammer in to the new modern shows and make you sick with it. But I think it really works here because if you look through a marble, this is what happens. So it makes sense. Big part of why I think this show does better is when they use their crazy tricks, it's because it makes sense in real life to use the crazy tricks. Instead of going through a hallway, spinning 360, making you feel sick, this is Anna looking through a marble, which is glass, which is curved, and it will do this. The music for the intro for this show is an instrumental, so it continues into this. There's no break. It's chill. The little opening scene with Team Red does set their style. We get to see how cool they are. They're very stylish. Then we swap quickly to introduce more Team Red when we have Kusanagi and Mizaki. Kusanagi, oh my goodness. He's something else. He's beautiful. He's a beautiful man, and I love him. We get some very nice blue filter, which I didn't realise was going to stay forever. At this point, it does kind of work because it's a cold situation where we're following these guys who are presumably breaking into this guy's apartment, interrogating him. They're looking for something. You don't know what they're looking for. Show off with Mizaki skating. The skating for him. I think that's why I remembered the first episode skating segment a little bit later on. It was one of the first times I'd seen anything like that in anime. Up until this point, I'd watched a few rom-coms, a few shonen animes. It felt like I was really following a guy on a skateboard. Now, the bad English is always going to be bad English. It's bad in this show. It's bad in most shows. Doesn't quite work, even if it is Kusanagi speaking English to my heart. But by this point, you have been introduced to most of Team Red. You get an idea of the style. They are very street. They are rough-handed, but you can see they are a family who care about each other. Anna being there in her little Lolita dress. She's always been brought along. She's not in danger or anything because Makoto is such a badass. She has a purpose, and you can see her interacting with all of the people at later dates in her team. I don't want to give you any spoilers, but she's very core to the team of Red. So you get to see hints at the Red King's powers very early on. The flames are fantastic. The moment when he walks as well, where you see the flames dying down as he walks, really, really nice effect. We now also get introduced quite quickly to the contrasted Team Blue. Very different from Team Red completely. Team Red look like the guys kicking around on the streets, smoking, doing all the bad things, whilst Team Blue feel like a military organization. They are organized, they are uniform. The uniforms look sexy and cool. I still want to make a cosplay from Team Blue at some point. There's a lot of characters I also fancy on Team Blue as well. I'm not fussy. Everybody is so pretty in the anime. The girl on Team Blue, I can't remember her name. They did over-sexualize her a little bit. There's a few moments where the camera is just panning there for what reason? It's anime, guys. It's anime. Team Red, you can see quite early that they just don't like Team Blue. So they waste no time in establishing Team Red to Team Blue. They don't really want to hang out with each other. And because they're so different and they've got that stark contrast, you can see why they just don't want to hang out. Blue is likened to orderly. You can see them working. They wait their turns and they announce when they're going to draw their blades. It's very, this is the military. This is us together. Very quickly, we also get to see the swords of the kings. First time viewer, this is going to be a very WTF episode. I do still think it is a very great animation show off for Gohan's, but I don't think the first episode is anywhere near as strong as the other two that we've broken down so far. It does play out as quite confusing at times. Now, the OP, I forgot. I 100% forgot this one. It definitely hasn't got a catchy OP like Noragami that I can remember, or Steins Gate's legendary OP. I don't remember much about it. I also don't have too much really to say about it. It's a lot of colour, a lot of abstract colours going on. There's some nice film effects where we are introduced to all three of the teams and all of their members. There's some nice animation. The animation is one of the higher points for that period of time. Obviously, this would not stand up anywhere near against Mappa's current Jujutsu Kaisen airing. That show is beautiful. That's just absolutely gorgeous. This is a different decade, different time, different style of animation was used. I still think it is still one of the first shows that I definitely saw which started to employ this method, and it employed it quite nicely. There's a lot of nice moments in this show. The world building, for example, when we go straight into the world building, is beautiful. It's modern futuristic Tokyo with holograms, Tokyo with robots. It does give me some Vivi Fluorite Eye song vibes with the robot aspect, and there's some really nice moments where you look at lenses as well, and the lens is really beautifully coloured. They've already kind of got the gradient on the screen, which I just thought was going to leave at some point. It's overstaying its welcome a little bit. Bustly segment of Tokyo, seeing how busy it is, giving us the school that is going to be central to our plot quite early. It's nice, it's chill. You can see everybody just doing their own little thing. This is mainly where we're going to be spending a lot of time with the plot, especially with our MC Shiro. To the audience who's going to be weirded out by the trip later on, the happy-go-lucky but very aloof character, often described as having no friends but also being close to everybody, which I really like. I can respect this. I feel like at one point I knew a lot of people but I didn't feel close to any of these people. You can see he doesn't really like his vegetables. Everybody is very happy to give him food. The food, I will say, looks absolutely amazing. That still stands up today. Food in anime just looks so good. This looks amazing. Don't really like tofu, but I'd probably give this bento box a go. We do get a very nice chase sequence. I think the introduction with Shiro is a stronger aspect of the show, following him around all those corridors, looking at the windows, looking at the world that you're in, the school that you're in, as Shiro is avoiding his vegetables that much. I like to believe that he actually knows what he's doing. He's trying to get away from the vegetable box that is following him. Robot section where he politely apologizes for knocking into the robot is really nice because you can see what kind of character he is. He apologizes for things. It's a robot. The girl afterwards knocks into the robot. She doesn't even bother apologizing because it's just a robot. I love the moment when the robot sees the naked cat and he's like, "You are too kind." It's like, okay, the robot's got an attitude and he appreciates the waifu too. Yes, we've got to talk about the naked cat girl. Perhaps the selling point for you guys to at least check episode 1 out. Maybe, I don't know. The fact that nobody can see her should also give you a hint that something is kind of going a little bit weird with this show. You know there's something mystical going on. You know there's something a little bit strange. He's a very interesting character, but by the end of these school segments, you start going, is he really just a normal school student? Because there's a lot going on with him where you're like, something's not quite lining up. I can't put a finger on it, but you know he's a very friendly character. Everybody is very happy to give him their food. Nobody is angry at him. Nobody seems unhappy with him. Everybody just kind of cares about him. He's just there. He's a guy who just floats around in the back. Shiro, I think his appeal is that he's very mysterious. The moment when he's just chilling out on the roof is quite nice. So the cat's just laying on him. To him, the cat appearing as a cat right now, not that nude waifu that will appear later. She comes out later. At one point, somebody wanted me to cosplay her because she does have an outfit. I say loosely have an outfit. I did reject the notion. I don't think I could pull her off. I don't think I've got the figure to pull her off. I mean, she's got a cool outfit, but I don't think I could do it. My arbiter, I do appreciate a good bit of heterochromia. Do think it looks really nice on her as well. The show then deciding to start giving us some of those rug pulls. Something isn't quite right with MC and you know that he can hear things. Something about the world about to end. It's giving you an idea that something bigger in the plot is about to drop. Things are going to get crazy at some point. In this show, they definitely get crazy. Gohan's wasting no time at this point to give us a worldwide zoom out because why not? It's a very early blueprint for some of those craziest shows that are going to come out perhaps in 2023. Cough, cough. But we do get a hint that something bigger is looming over and Shiro is perhaps hearing things. You know he's also got the backdoor key. He seems not to have a PDA device that all the students seem to have. Is he actually a student? Is there something a bit suspicious about this character? Hypest scene is about to drop now where we have the chase. Shiro trying to cross one of those very busy Tokyo crossings. People are starting to look at him. His face starts to spread amongst Team Red. You're starting to go, okay, that's a bit weird. And then we've got a mysterious long-haired man looking also to go and say hi to Shiro in a maybe not so friendly way. My favourite scene, the scene I remember K for. For some reason in my head I think it's longer. I believe the sequence I'm actually thinking of where it gets even better happens later in the series. The opening for this show is shaky. Definitely not got it down like Steins Gate where it starts on a stable foundation and gets better. This show for me gets better. It starts wobbly but it gets better. This section here with the skateboard, perhaps my favourite moment. Crazy animation on the skateboard. It really feels like I've got a GoPro and I am following the guy on a skateboard and he's doing these tricks. It looks amazing. I love the moment where he then flips and he goes up onto the bar because I believe this is real skateboarding. I don't know how to skateboard. I tried it once, almost killed myself. I recognise from games and stuff this is how people do skateboarding. People go up onto the bars and stuff. It looks like what he's doing is right. I would be impressed if someone could tell me if the skateboarding in this animation actually is real and maybe they have actually taken it from someone. I love the moment where we start getting this chase sequence. Why is this guy so set on trying to beat up our boy? He's weird. Why are people trying to attack him? Why are people trying to hurt this guy? The next section again where we get more of the animation following the skateboard. Really, really nice. The action sequence flows nice. I think as well, my brain has just come from boring school animes. When I came into this, the show feels like it's moving. The animation feels like it's moving. You feel like everything is active. It's going along with you. Kusanagi looking absolutely gorgeous in the next sequence with him. Then showing off some of his red powers. The animation on this section as well, because it goes from him smoking, flipping it, sparks turning into a hail of fiery death that he wants to greet Shiro with. I think the transition is nice. I think the animation is really nice. I think it flows. And then obviously we get our boy Kuro coming in, a nice introduction of him. It feels like it flows really nice. He grabs him and then he pulls himself upwards, ends the initial confrontation. And of course he saves Shiro from a very fiery death. I think the lines are nice. I think a lot of the frames are very, very nice. WTF moment. You've seen Team Red. You've seen them. You kind of presume they're just bad guys or something. Why are they searching for Shiro? Because all this time through the episode, they've been looking for this guy. This guy seems pretty chill. He doesn't seem like the kind of person who would get in trouble with gangs or anything. That is when we get the big rug pull, the massive end of episode number 1, which I think is really, really cool. Video. Now, in the video, it looks like Shiro's twin, his doppelganger, or Shiro himself, has decided to go, oh, hang loose, I'm going to go and end a guy. It's not a pleasant meeting with this character. This character reveals that they are the colourless king. They have deleted somebody. This initially is why everybody now wants to chase Shiro, because it looks like Shiro. Either he's got a twin that nobody knows about, or Shiro is hiding something very, very scary that he's able to go from calm to no chill. Shiro sadly admits that it definitely looks like it's me, but he doesn't really give anything more. So that leads the audience to go, wait, who is Shiro? Is Shiro dangerous? What the hell's going on? One of those videos that, okay, I wouldn't want to meet the person in that video. First big twist. The second big twist of the show for episode number 1, the Red King has been captured by the Blue King, which looks really, really bad. Seems like he might have planned it as well. So that is the initial first episode. The ED, just naked, nude, cat girl, waifu, lots of nudity, lots of poses that YouTube just would not like, I'm afraid. There's not a lot going on. It's a sad song, so it's a nice sad outro. Do I think it fits the tone? I mean, you've already shown her nude, so probably yes. It's not my kind of outro, but it works. My initial thoughts with episode number 1 are the animation for the time period. I can see why I would have been blown away, because it's one of the first shows that starts to do movement very well. I think the show handles movement animation very nicely. I think it also handles it in a way where it's not as crazy and heavy-handed as in the Girl with the Glasses anime. So let's bring it back into the modern as well. Why I think that anime might be failing a little bit is because they're all amazing tricks for any animation studio to do, but they're throwing it every single second in an anime which doesn't need it. It's a school anime. Chill out, relax. Now, in K's position, K does have some really nice movements. You've got some skateboarding going on, so it's very nice and cool to follow him. We're looking through the marble. That looks really nice. But they don't heavy-handedly use it. 11 years ago, the studio probably didn't have the same budget it had to today, and that's why I think perhaps it probably sits a little better, because they're not going heavy-handed on it. Masterful Cat, perhaps that's working better is because they blew their budget on the Glasses anime and decided they couldn't afford to go as crazy all the time in that show. They still do very similar stuff to K, where when they do use it, it looks really nice. With K, I just didn't remember the heavy filter. I promise the show does get better. It's quite a confusing first episode. There's a lot going on. There's not a lot of explanation for you guys. You're supposed to get the air of mysticism from Shiro, not meant to know what's going on. You're supposed to know that there's factions in this place. We've got the red and the blue. You know that there's something bigger going. I don't think past Becca was correct giving it a 9. As I said, I've lowered it to an 8 because I still think it is better for that period, but I don't think it's a 9. I don't really hand out 9s anymore. It's not my thing. Definitely worth a shot if you are watching any of the current animes this season. Want to see where it all began. It's definitely a good first episode to chill out with. Have a look at some of those motions. And it feels like I am just reviewing the anime for Gohan's purposes, but I'm not. I am saying that it is still a show that I really enjoy. There's a lot of really nice costumes in this show. There's a really sad moment in the anime which really got me. I'm not going to spoil much, but it was sad. And I have the song that played during that sequence. Obviously, Kay had a impression on me. I think it was one of the first animes that I watched, which looked insane to me. It looked amazing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys are having fun and enjoying this series. Let me know if you are watching any of the current Gohan's shows and what you're thinking about those shows. I really do think The Masterful Cat is a fantastically delightful show. Really worth watching after a heavy anime. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys again soon. Look after yourselves, guys. Bye bye.